I'm so jealous because Emma's got noodles and I haven't had time to get mine. How are they?
They are so great. I was so hungry, and this is like absolutely amazing. It's a veggie one. If you're hungry, go get this one.
Right, thank you for that recommendation and thank you for all the inspiration in your talk. How come I've never met you? You are incredible.
Oh, thank you. I mean, we roll in the similar circles, but sometimes we meet, but we just don't get a chance to.
That's true. We've met many times, but we've never actually said hi. And today I got to hear your story. Thank you for talking about the failures as well as the successes. I found that actually more inspiring that you have overcome so much. How are you feeling about being so transparent?
Yeah, do you know what? It means so much to me because actually the reason I am so transparent is because nobody was with me, and so I did not know that that was a path that most people go through. And actually, I find that it's really important that we're open and vulnerable about it, so that people don't stay at home and think that their one failure is the last thing they're ever going to do, is the thing that ends all their dreams, is that all their hopes are sort of gone down the drain. And so I'm actually quite pleased. I've spoken to a couple of people who said to me, oh, I'm so pleased that you talked about it, like it was really inspiring. And actually that's what I wish somebody had said to me, because I was at home crying a lot through my failures, and so actually it's really nice to know that somebody will get a message and will be able to pick themselves up after something has gone wrong, because sometimes things really just do go wrong.
It's really sat with me. First of all, your drawing that's very zigzaggy of your path, but also you talking about how it took you 8 years to do a PhD because you stuck through all of that time.
Yeah, it was really hard. And another really important thing that I like to say to people is not to compare yourself to other people. I was stuck in that loop for a little bit. Loads of my colleagues had finished in 3 or 4 years, and 8 years later I was still battling this one hurdle that I could just not get over. And it's so important to be able to just be candid about that, because really we're all on different paths, different journeys. We're all going to get somewhere eventually, and you just have to stay your own course and just be yourself, and try not to let these things overcome you.
So I have to ask, what was keeping you going? Because on average, it does take about 3 to 4 years to do a doctorate. Why did you stick at it? Like, what were you thinking?
Do you know what? I like to finish things. It's just a personal trait of mine. But also one of the things that really did move, and it was really important for me that I put my daughter's picture on that slide, because I was pregnant when I got my my information, the notice from the examiners that I wasn't going to pass my PhD. I was pregnant. I knew that information and I kept it to myself. But actually, for a couple of months there, I just needed to think about whether or not I did do this, or whether or not I wanted to add on the additional pressure of childcare, full-time job, plus redoing a lot of the PhD. And I found inspiration in my daughter. I looked at her and I said, I want her to be proud of me. I want her to know that actually a little blip in your journey does not stop you from really reaching for the stars. So normally I would go and look at her, but also I did try to find a lot of sort of personal time to just sit and be me for a little bit. I like to do arts and crafts and sewing, so actually I used to try and decompress by doing things that almost took my mind off the problem. So finding moments to just take a step back and then come back to the problem, take a step back and come back, just so that I could keep tackling, because it does get overwhelming, and I was overwhelmed for a long time there. But actually these were some of the little things that really helped me, finding a focus point for the why I wanted to do the thing. She was my big why, but also finding practical ways of just not being completely snowed under by the weight of the problem. So.
Everything you talk about, everything you talk about is so applicable to anything that we put our mind to. And given that this is an event for global ethnic majorities, you've just said so many things that are so inspiring. But how have you been inspired by the speakers you've heard today?
Oh, so inspired. Do you know what? The first thing I said when I arrived today was I wish that I'd had a Reflect conference when I was their age, 16 to 25, or at any point in my journey, and just hearing everybody's story. They all had interest. They all fought their way through things. Lots of people had different failures. Lots of people were talking about whether they failed a course or a program, something that had stopped them, family circumstances, and actually seeing that generally our stories are quite similar but also varied, but we've all managed to get through. is something that I really think everyone should take away from this, because that's really what we're trying to say, that, you know, as the global ethnic majorities, we may have similar experiences, we may have shared experiences, but we are succeeding so everybody else can as well. And I've been super inspired. I mean, I can't tell you all of it, but, you know, talking about people who are working, like, so now working in tech for good. I mean, I love, because of my background, and because I'm from Africa, like, I really love the humanitarian work that people try to do, because there's so much work in the developing countries that we can do, but also looking at things as simple as how we work in the airport. I have never thought about anything beyond the airplane that takes me to where I'm going, you know? And so it's trying to understand that engineering, science, STEM, all of these areas have such varied areas that you can excel in. It doesn't have to be the one thing your mother told you when you were going to school to go and do, that there's so many areas where you can be great. I mean, I've been super, super blown away today. It's been amazing.
So many global ethnic majorities may be scared to talk about the challenges. It might be seen as like, oh, woe is me, kind of, you know, I've had it tough. It hasn't been that here, has it?
No, and that's the beauty of it. Today it's been showcasing excellence, it's been showcasing experiences, it's been showcasing the greatness that actually is within us. And I think Reflect has been super successful for that reason, because really that's what we want to say. We have challenges, loads of groups of people have challenges, you know, but those challenges have never stopped any of the people that we're talking today, any of the experiences we saw today. Despite those challenges, you can be amazing, and I think that's what makes today so successful, and the Reflect sort of movement, and Gem and STEM so amazing. I'm so excited today. It's so great.
Well, you've been a massive part of the greatness. You are amazing. I'm so glad we finally met. Thank you so much for
Thanks,
everything.
Shini. It was lovely to meet you. So great to see you and talk to you properly today.
What a woman.